Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval. Today we'll be reviewing the final layout for the Lexington class carrier that is in the American Carrier Tech Tree. For the past 2 days I've used the normal sister ship, and so for today I think I will be using the other sister ship you can purchase for her, Ticonderoga. Now the special thing about this sister ship is that you can't actually buy her in the sister ship shop. She is not available here. However, if you actually go to the actual sister ships tab down here and you go to the base Lexington, you will be able to see both of these, or at least you should. I was able to. So yeah, so we're gonna check out Ticonderoga. There's nothing absolutely different. It's very similar to Saratoga, but it is a bit different. As you can see, Saratoga is a bit brighter, and it's kind of iridescent. I think she's an iridescent ship, honestly. Ticonderoga, on the other hand, is not. As you can see, there might be the same design, but it's just paint. There's no iridescence at all. Alright, but before that, a little bit of news. Today was update day, so a couple of things that came out that if you were not aware of, the current event ship Maryland now has, or I should say West Virginia, a sister ship. This is what it looks like. For lack of a further name, I've renamed her Maryland 44. As you can kind of see here, it's a neat little thing. Regardless, I mean, it's pretty cool, and I look forward to playing her and seeing her in battle. A couple other things. Let's see here. They changed the rate of fire on a couple of the Soviet cruisers, such as Chapayev and Kostroma. So that being, Chapayev here has decreased rate of fire. And then for Project 65, which I believe is Kostroma, yep, it is, they actually increased it. So I'll be taking these two ships out and seeing how that change has altered them. There is new anti-aircraft effects for, looks like, Iowa, Missouri, Montana, Illinois, Louisiana or Ohio, and then Space Montana as well. Actually, that one is coming soon. Looks like they're going to be doing something special for the Space Montana. And then they have added shell tracer effects for Yamato White Lotus, as well as the Bismarck Special or Holzendorf, Des Moines Special, or where is it? Newport News. There it is. And then there's also new effects for the French sister ships, Lorraine and Martinique, as we've gone over, but they're just all this is. Alright, so that is the main big things. Oh, one last thing. The ricochet chance, or what do they call it? Ricochet angle and normalization angle of armor piercing on British cruisers for Southampton, Neptune, and Minotaur have all been adjusted, so they might, or I should say should be able to bounce more shells in game. So hopefully that will be reflected as well. So with that, that is the main kind of points of the current update. Now let's go back to our carrier for today and bring out our flight group. So same as always, the carrier itself has not changed, same exact stats. However, we now have 2 squadrons of fighters with 6 fighters each, 1 torpedo bomber squadron with 8 aircraft, and then 1 dive bomber squadron with 9 aircraft. So quite a bit of a change. It's almost exactly like the first group. However, you are able to equip 2 more torpedo bombers and 3 more dive bombers. So if you're okay with this one, then you're going to like this one even more, I feel. So with that, let's toss into a game and see what we can do. Alright, here ourselves a game. It looks like 1 carrier, a bunch of battleships, and a bunch of cruisers with no destroyers. Which is completely fine by me, because I hate actually attacking destroyers with carriers. So let's see. Another thing about these sister ships here. For Saratoga, the aircraft have the camo as well. For Lexington, she does not. Alright, so let's see here. Where do we want to go? We're gonna... You know what? Let's actually head towards C. Well, there's islands in the way, so maybe not. So yeah, let's just head kind of below A here. And let's get our fighters out. And our torpedo bombers and dive bombers. Let's see what targets we have. Massachusetts, heavy AA. North Carolina. Wow. Every single battleship has really good anti-aircraft defense. And then add to that Nostromo, Baltimore. Okay, so we're going to be losing quite a few aircraft this game. And if you look at the spare aircrafts, we have 25 spare fighters, 16 spare torpedo bombers, and 20 spare dive bombers. So we're probably going to have to make our dive bombers count because we don't have that many torpedo bomber spares. We only have 2 squadrons worth. But hopefully we can make that work. I might have to do the same thing I did with Taiho and surround my torpedo bombers with my fighters. And actually, let's just all go around the torpedo bombers and then just split up the AA attack from there. So I might lose my fighters that way, but at least I'll be able to get my strike through. But maybe we won't have to do that yet. So let's see. Ooh, look at all that AA. Yep, we're gonna have to do that. Alright, so let's keep them all together right now. Let's see here. Torpedo bombers. So let's go in with the torpedo bombers first. We are already losing some aircraft. Let's bring the dive bombers over here in case, yeah, we're not getting enough hits on this cruiser, though those torpedoes might sink her. Alright, so the torpedoes were a bust. I needed a lot better lead. Well, hopefully our dive bombers should work better if they actually start listening to me. Well, that's not the best drop, but at least it's something. And we were able to get 5 bomb hits and a fire. You know what? I'll take that. That's pretty good. And as predicted, we are losing a lot of aircraft. Alright, so let's just start making our way. So we're going to turn this way. Torpedo bombers are almost ready to come back out. Where's our fighters? Let's bring them back over here. Yeah, I'm not the best with carriers, and it's at these tiers where I just start losing a ton of aircraft. So 7 and below, I'm pretty good, but 8 and above, I am barely effective at all. Or at least that's how it seems. Especially against those 3 battleships. Like, what am I going to do there? I'm going to get all my aircraft shot down no matter what I do. I can't really focus on the other side of the map because if I don't focus on these, they're going to end up shooting and sinking me. Alright, so let's surround our fighters. We do have quite a few spares there, so maybe we'll just have to use those instead. Alright, so let's see if we can get a strike in. We're already under AA attack. Gonna switch targets, which is probably not the best idea. Our fighters are almost already shot down. Our fighters are completely shot down, and almost all of our torpedo bombers are shot down as well. And that was not really a good drop. So yeah, we're going to be losing quite a few aircraft here. Alright, but let's bring our dive bombers back out and see if we can do anything there. Let's hope our team can carry us this time, though it looks like they're not going to be able to. Ooh, but if that North Carolina beaches, that helps me quite a bit. So I just have to wait for those two battleships to kind of get out of AA range for right now. Let's just go for it. The longer I wait, the more chances North Carolina has to actually get away. Alright, so let's do our dive bomb. We already lost 3 aircraft. 4. Yeah, they're just going to be shot down so easily. But we were able to get some bomb hits. Let's bring our torpedo bombers back out. I don't know if the North Carolina was on fire. I don't think it was. Maybe? I think so, actually. It's hard to tell. At least from where I am right now. Alright, so my fires are way too close. I'm going to adjust the course of my ship. Alright, so we brought it in a little bit closer. It's 5 to 6 right now. And as soon as I said that, it goes to 4 to 6. Okay, cool. And it looks like we're going to lose this Baltimore too. Alright, so let's use our fighters as cover for what little cover they can provide. Though every fighter shot down now is one less I have to defend myself later on. But this Baltimore is going to go down no matter what. And she's the only thing that's keeping this cap out of enemy hands. Alright, so we were able to get all of our torpedoes off that time. There we go. That was a good strike. I'll take that. Alright, let's bring our dive bombers out. How's our ship looking? Yep, we're okay right now. We kind of had to abandon a cap, but that's okay. So let's go see if we can light some fires on this Gascogna. Since she seems to be aground. Just aim for the main section of the ship. There we go. And 9 bomb hits, so every single one hit and 2 fires. We'll take that. Though we did lose squad 1, and we lost half of squad 2 already. The AA on these ships are just amazing. And let me guess, there's a Massachusetts over here. Nope, Northern North Carolina. Massachusetts is over here. So of course, all of the strong AA battleships are the ones that are left. Alright, but the tactic of using our fighters to split the AA defense seems to be somewhat working, at least. And our spare aircrafts are looking pretty bad. We're almost out of fighters and torpedo bombers, and our dive bombers are just going to be shot down before they even are able to attack the target. So this may not be a very fun game at all, actually. But we have what we have. How does this Massachusetts look? Almost full health. The good news is that if I'm having this much trouble against the enemy team, then the enemy carrier should have just have as much trouble, if not more, against mine, considering I have the upgraded aircraft. So maybe I won't really have to deal with carrier aircraft by the time I'm done. Let's see here. We are spotted by that Massachusetts, but I'm not too worried about it. Alright, so let's go. Actually, we need every ship we can get. Do I go after the carrier or do I go after the battleships? That is the question. I think I'm going to go after the carrier because it's kind of right here. So at least we are able to eliminate the carrier here. And then our dive bombers are coming back for this Gascogna. Maybe we can light a couple more fires on her. Let's head north. So it's only 3 battleships versus 1 battleship and me. Maybe we can take down the Massachusetts with just our 1 bot left. Dive bombing the Gascogna again. 2 fires, 7 bomb hits. I will take it. There goes the Massachusetts. Awesome. So now we only have the North Carolina and the Gascogna. On not the best, obviously, but you know what? I'll take it. We can knock down some of these aircraft too while we're waiting for our strike aircraft to reload. Just for a couple plane kills. Our strike, it looks like that Gascogna might go down to those fires. That'll help us a lot. Maybe. No, she put him out with just a little bit of health left. Alright, so our torpedo bombers are about to come out. We're going to try and take out, or at least damage that North Carolina. And then we know the dive bombers work on Gascogna, so we can wait for those to reload for her. Torpedo bombers are still slow, no matter what American carrier you use. At least they're not devastators anymore, though. At least we can actually get to the target. And so our Massachusetts, the last battleship we have, is almost down. But I still think we can win this game. I have just enough spare aircraft that I'm not too worried about losing anymore. I still have an entire torpedo squadron and dive bomber squadron as well. Let's see how that looks. Break our dive bombers out. A bit too much lead. Alright, so yeah, that was bad. So let's bring our carrier back over here. Bring our squadrons back this way. And they are pretty low, so we should be able to take care of them relatively easily. I think I want to go for the North Carolina with the dive bombers now, just to see if I can finish her off, because the Gascogna is a one-shot for either me or my teammate. So not a lot of carrier prevention in this game, but we're doing everything we can just to get our strikes through. We're slowly getting there. Squad 1 only has 1 aircraft, and Squad 2 only has 5. So between them, I only really have 1 squadron and no spares left. So we kind of really need to make these count. I'm probably going to lose Squad 1. Though it looks like the AA is focusing on Squad 2. Four bomb hits and a fire. I will take that. I think actually our bot can actually sink the rest of these, but it's alright. We only have 1 fighter left. So our Massachusetts should be able to sink that Gascogna. We do have a fire going on that North Carolina to help as well, and our torpedo bombers are coming back out. Alright, so the Gascogna goes down. Our torpedoes are ready for this North Carolina, and she's still burning, so that helps us quite a bit. So we will be able to win this game. However, I really don't like the number of aircraft I lost in doing so. There was a couple drops I could have done better, but honestly, this is just how the games go with this tier. You just lose so many aircraft. I didn't feel like I had this much trouble with Shikaku though. And so North Carolina ground, I will have no problem landing enough torpedoes to sink her. Here we go. And as you can see, I'm still losing aircraft. I lost Squad 1 as well. But there we go. We are able to finish the game with a kill. So let's see how we did total. 210,000 damage, 3 ships sunk, 17 torpedo hits, 27 bomb hits, 11 aircraft shot down, 7 fires, 4 floodings, 4 defended caps, and 5,400 base XP. 46,000 damage in fires and floodings, 121,000 damage in torpedoes, and 43,000 damage in bombs. So even if I think it was a bad game, we actually did pretty decent damage-wise. Another way you could use this carrier is just use your fighters for air superiority, and then use your strike aircraft to attack singled out targets, and then keep them safe for late game play. You can pick off any targets that are almost sunk or need to be spotted. So yeah, there's definitely some strategy involved at these higher tiers. It's not just point and shoot anymore. You definitely really need to think about how much aircraft you have and where to utilize them best. So with that, I will wrap up today's video on Lexington. That concludes all videos on Lexington. And tomorrow we'll be starting our first review of Essex. So again, thank you for watching and take care.